Welcome back to the Creative Talk, the podcast where we explore the vibrant world of arts and entertainment. I am your host, Afro Debbie, and today we have a special guest who has made significant strides in Nollywood as a talented makeup artist and entrepreneur. Peace Obona, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let me tell you something brief about Peace. So she has worked on numerous film sets, transforming actors into their characters and bringing stories to life through her artistry. So today we'll discuss her journey, the importance of skills as a student. And as you know, in our last episode, we were talking about the importance of skills as a student, as a general human being that you are. You need to have a skill to survive in this present world. So we'll also be looking at how Peace balances of her industry skills with her work in Nollywood. So once again, welcome to Creative Talks.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's start with your background. So can you tell us how you got to start in the makeup industry?
Okay, starting up in the makeup industry, I'll attribute that to one of my lecturers because I actually studied theatre and film studies from the prestigious University of Port Harcourt. So along the line, we had different branches of the discipline where we had the script writers, we had costume and makeup, we had set design, lighting, and the rest of it. So I remember walking up to one of my lecturers and was like, I wanted to focus on script writing because I love telling stories and I also write. And one advice he told me was, yes, script writing was quite relevant to the industry and it was an essential part of the industry, but I should think of an area of the industry that I could thrive in, that even though I do not get job from the industry, I know that it could equally foot my bills. So from that single advice, I looked around and what I could think of was makeup, and the lecturer that actually told me about that was also into makeup. He was into SFS, so special effects. That was how I started my journey, first from special effects because there was no money to go into beauty makeup. We know that that's quite expensive, so I started from SFS gradually as a student. And one thing with learning of skills or wanting people to invest in you in skills is that wherever you're doing, even the Bible says, here that a man diligent in his work, he'll stand before kings and not mean men. So as little as the school SFS I was doing then, I was quite diligent with it. I remember when we had our induction, I had to transform someone to a beast. I spent over 4 hours on that particular makeup, and it was more like a trial and error. And after that, the lecturer picked interest in me, started helping me out and everything. So with the fact that people already saw that this is what I had interest in, this is what I could do, it gave me an urge to say, okay, I called out to some friends, said I wanted to learn makeup in this aspect. They were like, okay. They were able to. First, a family friend helped me in my first makeup training, where I got to get the basic skills. And after that, I also got another opportunity. With that basic skills, I could use it to start up in the industry first and foremost. So having that basic skills, it helped me with another of my close friend who went further to train me in a renowned makeup institute in Port Harcourt, where I got to learn further on how to do makeup and beauty makeup. So at the end of the day, I had an edge because I'm not just a beauty makeup artist that could do for wedding, birthdays, and every other thing. I was also an SFS person that could do makeup for the industry. So this entirely helped my journey in the industry because I was both relevant in the industry and relevant outside the industry.
Okay, so that's very insightful. So now how can you discuss how you've navigated balancing, first of all, aside this industry makeup, I see you as, I know that you do other things aside this industry makeup. So how have you been able to balance your makeup artistry with other of your entrepreneurial skills?
All of my entrepreneurial skills, definitely more of a professional person I know that every work is professional, but I'm trying to talk about professional in the sense of what we all term professional work. So beyond being a makeup person, I'm an educator.
Okay.
I've worked with a business school and I teach proficiency courses. So all these things boils down to what I'm doing, because whatever I'm doing, the end base is I'm doing business. And what is business? Business is that you're serving people, you're rendering services, you're selling a product. So whether I'm in the industry or outside the industry, I'm still doing business because I interface with people. So if you're coming to me and saying, you're an educator, so why did you learn makeup? You're this, you're this. So as a makeup artist, I don't need anybody to do my makeup.
Yes.
As a makeup artist, I have a fallback skill. You understand? So even though I don't have to teach for a period of time, or the teaching job is not coming, or I feel that I'm not comfortable with that, I already have a skill, which is makeup. So, and this also boils down to our youth, in telling them that I've seen many people that are saying, I'm straight-jacketed, I'm this, so I can't do this, I can't do that. No, life is not about that way. Life is about creating balance. So you can be whatever you want to be, but it's just at the end point, know the purpose. So the purpose of my life is at the end point is that I'm a business person. So no matter what I do, I render services. And at the end of the day, I satisfy people and I get money. So that's it.
Okay, so that's interesting. So next question is, what advice would you give to students who may struggle to learn these skills while they are still in school? This is one. And then the next one is, what are some reasons do you think what are some reasons why students may be unable to learn skills while they are in school? So the floor is going to be yours for the next 2-3 minutes. So you can just talk to these people.
Okay, first and foremost, I will advise anyone that intends to get into school to first have a skill. That's my standpoint. Have a skill. Don't be in a hurry that everyone is getting into school, so I want to get into school. That period of coming out from secondary school and writing JAMB and getting into university, at least give yourself a year. And what are you using that 1 year to do? That 1 year is to get a skill. You can decide to go into fashion and design. You can decide to go into makeup. You can decide to go into lighting, cinematography. Now, what has this done for you? This has helped you have an edge against other students. Truth be told, money will never be enough. Money will never be enough. So knowing that money will never be enough means that even your parents cannot satisfy all your needs.
Yeah.
So having a skill is very essential, and saying that you want to get a skill in school, I have to be honest with you, is most times difficult, depending on the discipline you're going into.
Was it difficult for you while you
Yes, it was difficult for me. In fact, I couldn't learn and I couldn't go into full makeup skills until my year 3 towards final year, because my year 1 and year 2 was very hectic. I studied theatre and film studies, and from statistics in Uniport, it will tell you that the 2 most tedious courses in Uniport is theatre arts and medicine. So we barely have time for ourselves. I can finish my practical exam by 11 p.m. and I have a 7 o'clock class the next morning. So with this schedule, tell me, how am I going to learn a skill?
But there's YouTube to learn. Okay, I understand you might be studying.
If you're learning makeup on YouTube, who are you going to use to practice? Which time? There are skills that you say, I can actually learn this skill on YouTube and it works. Moreover, know that as Africans, we are more on in-person learners than, and there are some skills that are better learned in person. So where you can say that people are used to the internet and everything, imagine saying, I want to learn on YouTube, and you don't even have data. We are talking about data in Nigeria. We are talking about network in Nigeria. Yeah. For some days now, we've been having network glitches. Yeah. So imagine learning such skills on YouTube. So my advice to every student, everybody that intends to go into university, it's better you learn your skills before you get into school. Now, what does that do for you? You already have the skill, you're going into school. So as you're going into school, you're establishing.
Yeah.
Because if I were a makeup artist before I got into school, from matriculation, I'll start making money.
Yes.
If I'm a fashion designer before I get into school, from the piece I'm wearing on my body, I'll start making money. And not just making money, within that 4 or 5 years of school, you would have mastered the skill. So the period in school should be for mastering of the skills you have learned before school, and not learning a skill, because there are courses. Learning skills are better in the morning because you have a calmer mind to learn it, and we know that practically all the Nigerian universities, there is hardly a discipline. You see that the timetable doesn't run from morning till afternoon. So are you going to learn a skill when you're already exhausted? So it's more preferably, from my own standpoint of view, to learn a skill before you go into school, and know that while in school you cannot get mastery of the skill.
Okay, so coming back to the industry now, so thank you so much for sharing your insights. Your journey is very inspiring. So I'm going to be asking you something really. So what's your envision for the future of makeup artistry in Nollywood on a scale of 1 to 10? Rate the makeup in Nollywood.
On a scale of 1 to 10, generally I would rate the makeup in Nollywood on 9.
Okay.
Yes, because if you're seeing people that have established, people like Hakim Effect and the rest of them, you know that we're doing a whole lot. And also Tara, House of Makeup. She's a household name, so she knows her onion. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll rate Nigerian in the makeup industry on 9. And beyond that, another thing I would love to see in the industry where we could really bring it up is infusing our own culture into the makeup industry. And I think that's why I stepped back a bit. Yes, that's why I stepped back a bit, and maybe later on we can go into that.
Okay, thank you very much. And then still on the industry, while you were a makeup artist, while coming up as a makeup artist in the industry in Nollywood, has there been any challenge you have faced with the industry?
Well, every job has its own relative challenges, and it still boils down to business. Because in business, you have to know how to serve your customer, and that's why we have customer service relationship. So it goes a long way to tell you that whatever business you're doing, you should learn how to serve your customers, right? I've met different characteristics of people. In fact, what really pushed me into going to a brand to learn how to upgrade my skills on makeup was because of the way an artist spoke to me. I was like, I came to touch the artist's face, and you were like, where did you learn your makeup? So we are not interested in skill.
Yes.
The person or the particular artist was not interested in my skill as a makeup artist. Rather, they were interested in the brand that trained me. And that was a big challenge. So when it comes to an upcoming makeup artist, you're going to face a lot of challenge. But regardless, especially in the industry, you have to know that it's not a place of bread and butter. You'll be on that page. You have to deal with the fact that you'll be on that page. You'll be spoken to badly. You'll be shouted at. Just know that you're not coming there for bread and butter. It's not all rosy. But one thing that keeps us going, or kept me going at that point, was I knew the end goal of what I wanted. I knew what I was pursuing. I wasn't there to make enemies. There are people that gives you bad attitude, but you don't respond with bad attitude. And at the end of the day, you turn to their favorite, the same person that is not happy with you. So just know the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. And the challenges that comes at you while doing what you're doing is more like things that should push you to become better. They shouldn't be things that would discourage you. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Priest, for sharing your insights. And thank you to our wonderful listeners for tuning into this episode of Creative Talk. If you enjoyed our conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. So join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating world of beauty, art, and creativity